Greetings all. Welcome to this Innerchild reading. Innerchild has been reaching out for quite a while, just not getting around to it. Sorry about that, but we are here. And we pulled 2 cards, maybe pull more. We'll see how it goes as we continue on. And 1 second. So, clearing the energy, and let's see what we have for today. Hope everybody's doing well. If you celebrate these days, hope everything is going well and you are all in peace. And we have go on an adventure, and we have the lonesome gardener. So that's what we have coming out for today. And let's see. So, go on an adventure. It seems like we are experiencing a bit of too much stress, too much going on, and we need to take a break. So this is us, you, on top of this Pegasus creature on the first crescent moon, the very, very, very first sliver of the crescent moon, and we are going into the great beyond. We are going to take an adventure. We are going to let some of this stuff go that has been affecting us, this stuff that we've been holding on to for too long. It's time to let it go, time to move on to the next thing. We have been too involved in something, too caught up in something, and Innerchild is saying it's time for us to let all of this stuff that we have been holding on to, all of these things, all of these people, places, things, it's time to let them go. It's time also to go within. And again, if you follow the other readings on the other playlist, we're just now entering winter, so we are going into this phase of reflection, this phase of retrospection, of looking back. And we look back so that we can see where we were, so that we can make moves to move on from that, to go to the next level, to go to the next phase of this spiral. And saying that take an adventure, and that doesn't mean you have to go to Bali or you have to go to Tibet or something like that. You can, just take a drive down a different street, take a walk on a different path in a park, or maybe even watch a fantasy movie, just something to get something new going, to get that spark of excitement going that has been held down for too long, that has been blocked for whatever reason. It's time to let it go. Even doing something spontaneous. If you're walking down the street, go into a shop that you've never been into, or if you like tea or coffee, get a different flavor today, or sit in a different booth, something different, something to change your environment, so that we're not being stagnant, so that we're not being sticks in the mud, so that get ready for this next phase, as again we're in winter. So, as we're looking back, we also need to be looking forward as to what is to come, what it is that we want to come. So when New Year comes in March, we can be fully prepared for that. We have some plans, some ideas, some thoughts, some concepts laid out so that we are able to move forward. And, even though, these people, places, things, ideas, concepts may have been holding you back, just, recognize that you did the best that you could at that time with the information that you had, but now it's time to change that directive, to change that paradigm into something new. And if, some of these things may have been holding you back for too long, don't be so hard on yourself that you put yourself into this spiraling down of negativity. Be understanding and gentle. It's because you recognize that things need to change. We're being prompted, we're being told, we're being asked, it is being suggested to us that we make this change, that we take this adventure, that we go to this next new place, that we find this next new place, create this next new place. So, realize that, at that time that was our best. And now that we have grown, experienced, evolved, our new best will be at the next, and will be at another level, at a higher level, so that we will be fully equipped to make the change that is necessary. And then we got the Lonesome Gardener. So here we have our beloved creature who is, he's in this garden and, pulling this first harvest, this new, looks like a little pumpkin has grown, and it's got a spider on it. So, spider is, getting rid of this illusion that it is, like our first harvest. So it is time to nurture ourselves, to, give back to ourselves in alignment with going on an adventure. This is something new. So you're in the garden, we're discovering this new thing, we're learning this new thing, we are creating, building, growing this new thing. And it's time, as we are in this winter season, it's time for us to pay attention to this new growth, to pay attention to this new adventure that we are going on, to pay attention to this new path that we are embarking on. And it will help, again, winter, reflecting and looking within, spending time within, because there might be something, some of you, a lot of you, there's something deep within that needs some nourishment, and it's waiting for you to give it this attention, to pay this attention, so that it can come out, so that it can be born. So this is the perfect time to allow it to gestate, and time for us to give it the nutrients, to give it the love, the care, the compassion that it needs, so that it can come to fruition in this next phase. And winter in places that don't experience the full 4-season thing, where you actually have a completely visible change in season, between the middle of each season. You can tell there's a distinct quality between each one, that it might feel right now that things are, gray or dismal or whatever, but it is within this season, this growth season, wherein this thing that is growing within you is in darkness, because you have to come from darkness to get into the light, which is why it is so important. Some of you need to be checking into some shadow work to release some of these things that may have tormented or challenged your inner child. There's some things that need to be dealt with for a few of you. So now it's time, to nurture what it is that you have within, to spend some time listening to the inner wisdom, listening to what it is that this idea, this concept, this thing that you have that wants to be brought forward, to listen to what it is that it needs, what it is that it wants, so that we can give to it, so that it has all the nutrients and the nutrition that it needs to become fully viable, and that it will be able to come forth to be the next thing, the next phase for this new life, for this new experience that you are going to be embarking on. That remember that while we're in this phase of this growing phase, this reflection, this germination phase, I said gestation, I'm sorry, I meant germination, that we're in this phase of germination, what you are planting, what has been within is now going to have the opportunity to come forth. That it may look like it was barren, or nothing growing, like I said, in those places where 4 seasons, you may have snow on the ground, no leaves, gray, sad feeling sometimes, that it's this time right now when you are giving it the nutrients, when you are feeding it what it needs so that it can grow, that even though it may not look like anything is happening, that we don't always see, because it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy. So it's like, you don't keep digging the seed out to see if it's sprouting it. You do what you need to do. You make sure it's in beautiful soil, a pot or a nice location for it to grow, and you keep giving it what it needs. You give it the water. You make sure, even though that it is deep within the soul, that it has soil, make sure that it is getting the sunlight that it needs to spur it on to this next phase, that we are, even talking to it, spending time sharing with it, encouraging, being compassionate, and just being there, to spend some time, so whatever it is that wants to come forth, make sure that you are sharing with it, that you are giving it the water or whatever nutrients it needs to bring forth. If you are writing something, make sure you are sitting down and taking that time to be present and do the writing that you need to do, so that it may come forth. And somebody needs to write the book, whatever it needs to bring, what your special concept, idea is that you are doing, what needs to be done to bring that forth. So in this season, this is what Innerchild is saying, and they're saying to pull another card, and we got Gemini. So Gemini is an air elemental card, not a card, but an air elemental sign. So, bringing, and it was in reverse. So it's about, these thoughts, these concepts that are within, to bring them forth, to focus on this air energy, and make sure that you are getting both aspects, because like Gemini has 2 potential sides, 2 aspects. So sometimes they might seem dichotomous, but other times they may seem harmonious. So it's important that if you've got the dichotomous ones, that we're working to make sure that they are in balance, or that they are complementing each other, so that the flow of whatever it is coming through. And if it is the motorcycle, picky, if you harmonious in actions. Make sure that these things are blending appropriately so that what it is that needs to come forth is going to come forth in a manner that is for your highest good. So that's what we have for today. Like, share, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends. If you would like a personal reading, the information will be in the little box. And if you would like to support us, the information for that will also be in the little box. Again, for those of you who celebrate, hope everything is going well and this season is going well for you. And we will speak soon. Peace.